Welcome back to the MBM Vault, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. We're your hosts, Nicholas Carlo
and Sophie Young, and this show is all about music, industry news, and most importantly, fun.
Before we begin, we would like to mention Oshawa Music Week, running from April 1st to April 5th. They are currently looking for vendors and artists, and if you're interested in being part of the 25th anniversary of the event, check out at Oshawa Music Week on Instagram.
All right. Well, today we'll be interviewing up-and-coming alternative metal and post-metal band from Oshawa. Please welcome Vulpecula and introduce yourselves.
How's it going? My name's Ben.
I'm Caden.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, no problem. So we're gonna start off with some questions. How did your band come to be?
I think we started pretty much right out of high school, and then just kind of went from there. Just had a passion for music and just putting the pieces together. I play guitar and I sang.
Yeah.
He played the drums. And
shout out to Alex.
Alex Boland, from formerly Paralysis, currently a Pig Iron. He was a big part of kind of putting us together. He actually introduced us, which was kind of how this all.
Yeah, we went to elementary school together.
So from the beginning.
Yeah. So he's a little bit older than me, and so is he. And then I just met them back up in high school, and he was like, "You still play the drums?" And I was like, "I do." And then that's how I met these guys.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
So has metal always been a thing in like each of your lives, or was it like a thing that was only adopted like recently?
Oh yeah. It goes way back. But like metal's always been a thing. I started more kind of on the pop punk side of things, so with bands like Data Remember, Pierce the Veil, and that kind of stuff, and then progressively kind of got heavier from there.
Yeah. My parents are very like tattooed.
Oh, sick.
Metal punk rock parents, so they kind of taught me everything I knew.
Riding a motorcycle kind of thing.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
My dad used to play in a band when he was my age and a little bit after that too, and he's just showed me everything for music. So
it's basically in his blood. Yeah.
About metal as a whole, what are some of your favorite things about the metal genre as a whole?
Well, from like a songwriting perspective, it's just the kind of emotion and the dynamics of it. It's just because like you get obviously like screaming guitars and vocals, but it's like realistically the passion, everything behind it's still almost on that like singer-songwriter kind of vibe of like it's something real and something deep that someone connected with and they're just trying to share it with the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. For like the music standpoint, it's the emotion. That's always caught me. Like even like with the people will always be like, "How do you listen to that screaming?"
Yeah.
It's that raw emotion that's coming through. You can feel it. Touches your soul. But other than like just the music, the scene is awesome. Like guys in a mosh pit just hitting each other, but at the same time, everyone loves it and they're your best friend.
It's just unfiltered energy.
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple roommates who are like really into metal.
Yeah.
And I've seen them at shows. And I'm like, whoa.
That's the best part of the genre. Like like you said, the raw emotion. It's like you sit in there and like you feel like you listen to the scream and you want to scream along with it, except you don't want to wake up your roommates, stuff like that.
Yeah. So you mentioned right before we started some artists that you were listening to.
Yeah.
Do you have any dream like collaborations or inspirations?
Oh, it's always a fun one. As of right now, like kind of what I'm into is a band called Dance Gavin Dance. They're doing a lot of good stuff. Yeah, John Mess, the screamer for that, amazing. I'm also really big fans of Poppy and Spirit Box, who were at the Grammys this past week. Both just phenomenal artists, and especially being kind of one of very few kind of women in the genre. It's incredible to kind of see that. And with both of them, their music's incredible. Mm-hmm. So like those are definitely up there for me.
Yeah.
On a dream collaboration, it's already happened. It's Ben.
Yeah.
It's my go-to all the time. No, but inspirations for me would be like Deftones is a big one.
Yeah.
I grew up on more grunge stuff, so like Nirvana, Foo Fighters, and whatnot. That's where I started off when I was younger. But Deftones, Rage Against the Machine, Sepultura.
You got a Rage Against the Machine hat.
Yeah, from the show, the last one that they played here. Honestly, I'm just really into any metal band that's doing their own thing. Like if they sound like their own and they're changing the game, that's something I'll easily hop onto.
I remember, Ben, you brought up a good point where it's like not a lot of like female representation in metal. What do you think about like modern day Linkin Park then with Emily Armstrong, I think her name is?
No, she's doing great. Like it obviously it gets pretty divisive because some fans are wanted to stick true to obviously like Chester, who was such an iconic kind of part of not only the band but just of the scene as a whole. But honestly, I think she's doing good. She like in terms of kind of bringing her own element and not necessarily trying to replace him, but trying to add something to the band. So she's doing amazing there. But even then with her own projects as well, I believe it's Dead Sarah, just also amazing. But yeah, just she's a part of the industry at this point. So it's really just a matter of just seeing what she can bring to the table, which is always just amazing to see.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Are there any like favorite lyrics that you've ever written in any of your songs?
Ooh, that's a tough one. We were talking about this the other day, actually.
I barely know him.
In one of our songs called Disposed, that'll be on our upcoming album, the main kind of chorus part has a line that is, now I'm like have to sing it through. All I ever wanted was to feel like I ever mattered. I know I don't. I am the disposed.
That's deep.
Which is, yeah, it's something, you know, obviously a lot of lyrics I have are like, sometimes they're kind of complex in thought and things like that, but that one's just like, it cuts through because it's just something deep and real and it's pure emotion. That, or at least I think it is, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's a very common thing with metal as a whole. It's like you listen to it, it's like the lyrics are always very deep. Sometimes they can even just be straightforward and just saying, hey, this is how I feel, or like, this is what it's like. I mean, perfect example, Rage Against the Machine. They don't care what you think. They're going to tell you straight up what they feel like. They're going to tell you straight up.
Yeah.
I think there's something so special as well with like authentic songwriting. The people who listen to it, they know when it's authentic and when you're just kind of, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like learning, even just the instrumental part as well. Just like, it's not only the lyrics that can be authentic. It's just everything else, especially the guitars and the drums. Like I'm a fellow drummer as well, so I see it as well. It's like there's always different elements that people find like underestimating. It's like that's what makes metal such a great genre as well. And final question for this segment: what is like a brief rundown of like what your creative process is like amongst like the three of you guys?
Well, we've done it in quite a few different ways. I think, like with it usually starts off with at least one of us kind of bringing a part. You know, whether it be like me coming in with a guitar part, Caden coming in with the drum part, my brother coming in with the bass part, or even sometimes I've actually started off with just vocals and just kind of the run of lyrics, and then just kind of getting together and building a song around that, changing parts and kind of just really just small bits and pieces, just all kind of coming together. And then at the end of the day, you have a song refined. Put it out.
Yeah, I mean, some of our best work is even just coming from us getting in a room and then just noodling around, and then just out of nowhere something starts happening. And I don't know, it's like it's hard to we don't sit down and go, we need to write right now.
Yeah.
It kind of just happens a little more naturally.
We've actually had a pretty good track record of writing a song either the day of or week of a show, and then using that song as our final song of the night.
Yeah.
And literally just having something that was just us getting in a room and absolutely start to finish just running it out.
We've had some songs that stuck, some that we a month later go, I hate this now.
Yeah.
This sounded so much better a month ago, and now I don't want to play it ever again. But yeah, I don't know, creative process-wise, like if you're talking about just writing the music, it's very just like...
organic.
Yeah. Try not to push it, because then we feel like you're forcing it.
So you just kind of like be plugging the guitar and be like, wait, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Pretty much, just searching for a melody that we haven't heard before.
Yeah, perfect. It's pretty hard to do these days as well.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the perfect part about when it comes to just making music. It's just like most of the time, you want to make the music just because you want to. It's like you're not going to be like Eminem where it's like, oh, I need to be in the office from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. because he actually does that, which is very interesting. But like you go in there because you hear something, you're just like, oh, that sounds good. Let me go to the studio right now. And like, how much of digital production like goes into your music?
Honestly, not a ton, which is kind of crazy to think about. But most of the kind of our production is really just us getting in a room and kind of we'll finalize the parts, and then when it comes time to kind of record, we'll more or less have it pretty raw and authentic. And then obviously in production there are small things of like, you know, small tweaks we can make and adding certain elements, but overall it's really just kind of us getting in a room. That's kind of our
one thing
our
we
style.
want to do too, right? It's like when we get up on stage and play in front of people, we want to be able to play it without hit and go on something, or like it's all everything you hear in the record that is going to be coming out It's just us playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best part. You miss out on stuff like that now, especially in the year of 2025. It's like, I mean, using raw instruments like is way more rare nowadays. Like,
Oh
you
yeah,
use
like with the modern production tactics, it's just
especially
yeah,
modern
it's
pop
rare
music
to
as
see.
well.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I do like what bands have been doing though with like samples and like backing
Yeah.
tracks on stage. These get some cool sounds that they capture or create at home, bring it on stage, and it's just kind of add that extra feeling that sometimes you need in your show.
For sure. Coming up after
Sorry, no worries. You go.
Coming up after the break, we'll be talking with Vulpecula more about their upcoming album.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you can follow the Media Hub on social media at DCSA Media Hub. You can also follow us at MBM Vault on Twitter and Instagram, and at the MBM Vault on TikTok.
We're going to play some music. Here's Diamond Eyes by Deftone live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.
Welcome back to the MBM Vault. We're your hosts, Nicholas Carlo.
And Sophie Young. We're back with Vulpecula to talk about their upcoming album. Exciting. Tell us more. Is it called?
Yeah, it's going to be coming out probably this summer. We're still not too sure about that, but it'll be called This Is Not Smooth Jazz.
Yeah.
No. Well, what are some like things that you guys are excited for about the album, like the sound of it, anything that you're wanting to promote? This is like your hey, you got a bunch of time to promote to the show or whatever.
For sure, yeah. Honestly, the biggest thing is we've been working on this album for almost 5 years now. So we've been really, we've had a lot of ups and downs as a band, just with, the way, the world's been in the last 5 years. It's been pretty hectic with, the whole COVID thing and everything. 2020, it's right when we got our start, so that hit us pretty hard. But all in all, yeah, we've been working on this for 5 years, and we're just excited to see it finally come to light.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
But good things take time.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of your favorite like places or venues that you've ever performed at?
Ooh.
That was a good one. I mean, the Biltmore Theater right here in Oshawa is just fantastic. Just the production value that they bring to the table is just unreal for especially just a true local spot that'll actually promote kind of local artists. The 222 over at Bond Street is also fantastic. Kind of same thing, especially having that kind of iconic history as formerly the Dungeon, being the start of so many bands that actually are kind of very influential for us today as well, right?
People who really supported us too, the General Pub.
General Pub.
Rest in peace.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, they no longer around there.
Yeah.
But the amount
Rip.
of shows that we played there,
Yeah.
and with a bunch of friends of ours, they were so easy to book with and just always willing to help out.
Yeah, they were great for us because they were truly like, hey, you guys want to play a show? Here's a room, have fun. And that was kind of it, and then they just let us run everything.
That's
from
like the
there.
dream.
It really was, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it as well.
Oh,
You just,
100%.
you just go in, you play in front of like a couple hundred people or whatever, and you just get to roam free.
Yeah.
You don't feel censored to be like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
Just do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Yeah, but we've been just like kind of around home when it comes to shows. Just branching out to Toronto this summer for the album release.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Any
it'll be
venues in
exciting.
mind?
Well, I'm in another band as well. Just playing bass with a band called Free Couch, punk band. So we've played out in Toronto a couple times now. Sneaky D's is also just a fantastic spot. Iconic venue,
Yeah.
right? It's just there's something to it that's always going to be it just draws that
100%.
kind of nature, right? But yeah, so that's something we're definitely looking at. Hopefully playing this summer.
Yeah, Sneaky D's we're booked with right now. So we'll be there May 31st.
Yeah.
And just with a bunch of other bands. Got Chasing Shadows, Uncle Scurvy, and Divine Curse are all going to be supporting us with that. Super excited. And then we're just in the talks with some other venues out of the Toronto way for a little bit later.
Cool.
In the next month after that. And we'll be back in Oshawa playing Biltmore, 222.
Yeah.
Big
That's the
stuff
hope
coming.
anyways, yeah.
I heard you mention Free Couch. I assume you know that Keegan is part of this program
Yeah,
as
Keegan
well.
Wallace, yeah.
And yeah, for those of you who don't, Free Couch is a band between Keegan's a member of our program. You are a bassist. You say I forgot. Keegan's the guitarist.
Keegan's guitarist and vocal, yeah.
Now, about the music industry as a whole, like what are some of like important things, like 3 important things that you would tell up and coming people in the music industry, whether they're an artist, band, anything, a manager? Like what are 3 things that you would like tell them?
Ooh, that's a great question. Honestly, the consistency is a big part of it. It's just you always have to be pushing kind of for that next step, and just kind of always seeing like what's next from here. That's always kind of a big thing. A good part of it too is to just not focus. If something doesn't go according to plan, not kind of sitting in it, but just always kind of planning ahead and kind of keeping on the track and moving forward.
It's like a game of chess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think ahead 2 steps.
Yeah.
It's like even having that leadership as well. It's just like if I know something's going to be bad, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to step up and know it. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to change this up. We're going to do this quickly.
Yeah.
Like that's a very important thing as well. Now, keeping more on like a lighthearted side, tell us like some of your favorite stories behind the band.
Oh.
Like either some favorite memories, moments, anything related to Vulpecula.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's a few. There's a good chunk.
Yeah.
Our first ever show was over at the Atria. It was our first show with another local band, Paralysis, back in the day. With that, because as we were kind of speaking earlier, we've had a couple songs that we just written like day of, night of, and then ended up performing. That was one of the first shows. We performed a song called Something More that we finished, I want to say 3 hours before the show or something like that.
Yeah, we were just jamming it over and over and over.
And I finalized lyrics, and then we were like, all right, let's go. But it was pretty funny because I finalized lyrics, again, 3 hours before the show. So I didn't know them. So I just fully pulled out my phone and was like, I'm going to read them as I sing because that's all I got right now.
Yeah.
It went
That was actually really
terribly.
funny.
Yeah, it was
That's
great.
kind of ironic considering your album took taken 5 years
Yeah.
to put it out, and you go to a show and you play a song that's 3 hours old.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But you know what? That's cool. That's cool. I went to a concert once. The dude's like, I just wrote this.
Yeah.
And starts playing it. Has his phone open.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I mean, sometimes you just want to share it, especially when it's still kind of in that unfinished phase, because then there's something real about just having that kind of raw authenticity, as we were saying
for sure.
before.
So last year you played at Oshawa Music Week.
Yeah, Moshville Madness.
Yeah.
Moshwa Madness. How was that?
That was an amazing time, and honestly, that was a big show for us as well, because we went over kind of like a 1 year hiatus at that point. So that was our first kind of show back into the scene, which was kind of a good thing for us to really kick the ball rolling and then kind of get going again. So we had an amazing run in 2024, and honestly it all started with Moshville Madness.
Nice.
Music aside, too, you guys crushed that. It was
Yeah, the
we were
production was
treated
great.
so well. We went upstairs. There's muffins and coffee upstairs. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was,
No, you gotta get that stuff prepared. I mean, we have a whole in the program. We have a whole course that we just spent like 3 months preparing.
Oh yeah.
for that stuff.
Like every week we have second years have a 4-hour long planning period.
Oh yeah.
Just for it. And there's like admin and marketing, and every individual event has their own groups, but it's a great effort once it all comes together.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm a first year as well, so it's gonna be my first time having to work Oshawa Music Week, and I'm excited for it as well. I'm part of the marketing team.
Nice.
It'll be pretty interesting. And coming up after the break, we'll be back with Vulpecula for a live performance of 2 of their songs.
We're gonna place it. Oh, no, we're not. Not yet. Don't forget that you can follow the Media Hub on social media at DCSA Media Hub, and you can also follow us at MBM Vault on Twitter and at the MBM Vault on TikTok.
We're gonna play some music. Here's "Fine Again" by Seether, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. Welcome back to the MBM Vault. We're your hosts, Nicholas Carlo.
And Sophie Young. We're back with Vulpecula for a live performance. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you. All right, this one's called Odessa. odyssey, relentless. With my friends buried beneath, I'm all alone. Did I ever know you? But now it's past and dead. You stay in my head.
That was amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
Very, very
Impressive
good.
guitar skills, I must say.
Well, I do my best.
I can even imagine that, like that would on the electric guitar, or that would
Yeah, it's a bit different
Yes.
acoustic, but you know,
that would still be amazing though.
Still
You
a
still
vibe.
you still have another song left though, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to interrupt you. You can,
No
say
worries.
you can go whenever you want.
yeah, this one's called Echoes. A voice for the voiceless, a heart for the hopeless, a soul for the soulless, a break for the broken. Let me die here in my misery. I'm falling apart, just put my mind at ease. The self-preservation isn't meant for me. You called it love, but left a violent scene. The side of the road alone with a smoking gun. Feel the midnight wind and the taste of blood. Colder than regret is dead, but what's done is done. You never felt so alone, but you're not the only one. Let me die here in my misery. I'm falling apart, just put my mind at ease. Self-preservation isn't meant for me. You called it love, but left a violent scene. You're not alone, but I'm the only one. You find your meaning by following the trail of death and blood. Feed the fear, but I'll never run. But what's done is done. Let me die here in my misery. I'm falling apart, just put my mind at ease. Self-preservation isn't meant for me. You called it love, but left a violent scene. A violent scene. Violent scene.
I was very, very, very good.
Thank you.
And before we go, I just have some questions about some of those songs. Like, where did the thought process come behind some of those songs, like either Echoes or Odessa? Like, what is the creative process behind them?
Honestly, yeah, it's a great question. With both of them, they, in terms of kind of like lyrically, they kind of just started with a general emotion, and then I kind of just pulled from that. And most of the lyrics, like logically, when you just read them, it doesn't necessarily make sense, which is kind of what I like. It's a little bit more kind of artistically creative and kind of more fulfilling for me. But yeah, a lot of it just comes back to something relatable, just a feeling. Like with Odessa, it's just kind of that feeling of like loneliness and that kind of longing for something else, but is it up in the air of actually achieving said?
So would you
thing,
say
right?
like some of your lyrics are like up for interpretation?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
That's the best part about art as well. It's like
Yeah.
everyone has their own interpretation.
Yeah.
What you say, sometimes it could be a good thing, sometimes it could be a bad thing. But
Yeah.
in this case, it's a very good thing.
Yeah.
That's something that me and Ben both like. When we talk about music, like stuff even other than ours, the one thing that we like the most is having that like sense of being able to take what you want from it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because if like listening to someone's music, it'd be a lot more niche if you were going exactly what they were telling you, rather than listening to it and interpreting it, and using it the way you need it.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
some of our songs are a little bit more story driven and kind of impacted by real events and things like that. But a lot of the time, it's just a raw feeling and something that can be relatable. So yeah, definitely up for interpretation. Something that someone can listen to and emote with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not like you get something basic. Like I think the first thing, Curtis, blow the brakes. Brakes on the bus, brakes on the
Yeah.
car, brakes to make use. No, it's like it's actually something that you can sit down and be like, what are they trying to say? Instead of just
Yeah.
doing something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching today.
Thank you to Vulpecula for being a fantastic guest today
Thank you for having us.
and having a great live performance. Don't forget that you can follow them on Instagram at Vulpecula Band,
Vulpecula Band.
and they've got a new album,
This is not smooth jazz.
hopefully
It is
for
not.
summer, but we'll keep our eye out.
Yeah, we got a couple things in the works.
Yeah. Make sure to stream their new album when it comes out. And it's called This Is Not Smooth Jazz.
This is not smooth jazz.
I'm guessing it's not smooth jazz.
I don't believe so.
No.
Yeah.
This inspiration.
Yeah.
You can follow the Media Hub on social media at DCSA Media Hub. Don't forget that you can also follow the MBM Vault at MBM Vault on Twitter. You can also follow us on Instagram at the same username and at the MBM Vault on TikTok.
That's all for this week's episode. Now, let's end it off with Under Wraps by Ghost Town playing us out live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.